I have 20 minutes left on my phone. I'll start reading here. So that's how top notch of a company my Sky's is company. You're looking at a company better than Disney, Warner Bros., Universal, Paramount. You're looking at a company better than all these all these companies, obviously. So I'll read. Yeah, Tom Bombadil's rescues Frodo and them from the prisons of the Bear Whites. It says Tom Bombadil here. Yeah, I was right. See, I'm not too stupid. I do remember some stuff in the book, obviously. Yeah, Tom Bombadil rescues the hobbits from the Bear Whites when they're trapped, when they're imprisoned in the Bear Whites. And my theory is the reason why Tom Bombadil is not affected by the spells and the enchantment of the Bear Whites, because he's not. Tom Bombadil has power over some of the magic in the world and all that stuff. He has power over the magic of the ring. Tom Bombadil, when he saw the ring, he just laughs, puts it on. He doesn't disappear. You know what I'm saying? He's not affected by the ring and the magic of the ring. He's also not affected by the enchantment spells of the Bear Whites. That's why he's able to rescue the hobbits. That's my theory. If you, to all you Lord of the Rings nerds, you're not gonna angry with me. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You're not gonna angry with me. I'm just throwing out a theory here, okay? So let me start reading here. I'll read 4 pages. And then for the remaining, I don't know, I'll probably have a good 6, 7 minutes, 10 minutes left. And the remaining 6, 7 minutes, I'll babble on. I'll end the video here. I'll go to the store, get beer and smokes, come back, enjoy the show, and I'll probably eat some burgers upstairs, watch some games, and then go to bed, obviously. So on page 184. Suddenly a song began, a cold murmur rising and falling. The voice seemed far away and immeasurably dreary, sometimes high in the air and thin, sometimes like a row moaned from the ground, out of the formless stream of sad but horrible sounds. String of words would now and again shape themselves. Grim, hard, cold words, heartless and miserable. The night was railing against the morning of which it was bereaved. And the cold was cursing the warmth for which it hungered. Frodo was chilled to the marrow. After a while, the song became clear, and with dread in his heart, he perceived that it had changed into an incantation. Cold be hand and heart and bone, and cold be sleep under stone. Never more to wake on stony bed, never till the sun fails and the moon is dead. In the black wind the stars shall die, and still on gold here then let them lie, till the dark lords lift his hand over dead sea and withered land. He heard behind his head a creaking and scream. So Frodo's hearing voices. He's hearing a song, obviously. Because I told you the Bear Whites is like some enchantment. I don't know if this is Tom Bombadil singing. It's either Tom Bombadil. Later on, he hears Tom Bombadil sing because Tom Bombadil rescues him, obviously. But because the Bear Downs is like an enchanted place, the hobbits are under some spell. They can hear things. You know what I'm saying? The place is messed up, obviously, right? He heard behind his head a creaking and scraping sound. Raising himself on one arm, he looked, and he saw now in the pale light that they were in a kind of passage, which behind them turned a corner. Round the corner a long arm was groping, walking on its fingers, towards Sam, who was lying nearest, and towards the hilt of the sword that lay upon him. At first Frodo felt as if he had indeed been turned into a stone by the incantation. So the song that he's hearing, it's affecting Frodo, obviously. He feels like he's being turned into a stone or something like that, right? Then a wild thought of escape came to him. He wondered if he put on the ring whether the Bear White would miss him, and he might find some way out. He thought of himself running free over the grass, grieving for Merry and Sam and Pippin, but free and alive himself. Gandalf would admit that there had been nothing else he could do, but the courage that had been awakened in him was now too strong. He could not leave his friend so easily. He wavered, groping in his pocket, and then fought with himself again. So Frodo is thinking if he should put the ring on. Okay, if I put the ring on, maybe I can escape this place, obviously. He's thinking if he should put the ring on, obviously, right? Groping in his pocket, and then he followed himself again. As he did so, the arm crept near. Suddenly resolve hardened in him, and he seized a short sword that lay beside him, and kneeling he stooped low over the bodies of his companions. With what strength he had, he hewed at the crawling arm near the wrist, and the hand broke off, but at the same moment the sword splintered up to the hilt. There was a shriek, and light vanished. In the dark there was a snarling noise. Frodo fell forward over Merry, and Merry's face felt cold. All at once back into his mind, so all the hobbits are under the spell, obviously, right? From which it had disappeared with the first coming of the fog, came the memory of the house under the hill, and of Tom singing. He remembered the rhyme that Tom had taught him. In a small, desperate voice he began, "Ho, Tom Bombadil," and with that name his voice seemed to grow strong. It had a full and lively sound. So Frodo has memories of being in Tom Bombadil's house, obviously. So the Barrow Downs is so evil that Frodo now starting to remember. He's singing songs, Tom Bombadil songs, to what? To make himself to what? To feel happier in that situation, obviously, because the Barrow Downs is so evil, obviously, right? So, but my bad. Before I said Tom Bombadil's racism, I'm not sure because I saw Tom Bombadil. I assumed they said for Jared Tolkien was saying that Tom Bombadil rescued them. I don't know for sure, but to my recollection, I believe Tom Bombadil rescues them from the traps of the Barrow-wights, if I'm correct. I may be wrong, though, if I remember, obviously, right? So Frodo has some good memories being at Tom Bombadil's house, Tom Bombadil singing his songs, all that stuff, obviously, right? Tom had taught them. In a small, dusty voice, he began, "Hold, Tom Bombadil." And with that name, his voice seemed to grow strong. It had a full and lively sound, and the dark chamber echoed as if to drum and trumpet. "Hold, Tom Bombadil, Tom Bombadillo." Remember how he said Tom Bombadil sings? "Hold, Tom Bombadillo, Tom Bombadillo. By water, wood, and hill, by the reed and willow, by fire, sun, and moon, hearken now and hear us. Come, Tom Bombadil, for our need is near us." There was a sudden deep silence, in which Frodo could hear his heart beating. After a long, slow moment, he heard plain but far away, as if it was coming down, through the ground or through thick walls. An answering voice saying, "Old Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Bright blue as his jacket is, and boots are yellow. None has ever caught him yet, for Tom he is the master. His songs are stronger songs, and his feet are faster." There was a loud rumbling sound as of stones rolling and falling, and suddenly light streamed in real light, the plain light of day. A lower door-like opening appeared at the end of the chamber beyond Frodo's feet, and there was Tom's head, hat, feather, and all, framed against. Yeah, I told you, Tom Bombadil rescues them from what? From the barrows. I told you. My theory is the reason why he's not affected by the spell and the enchantments of the Barrow-wights is because Tom Bombadil has like power over a lot of the magic in the world, in the Middle Earth, obviously. The fact that he has power over the ring, he obviously has power over what? The spell and the magic of the Barrow-wights, obviously. Right? Obviously. Hence why I always wonder, is Tom Bombadil human? Or is he like half wizard, half human or something like that? I don't know, man. Is Tom you got Lord of the Rings fans trying to help me out here. Is Tom Bombadil human or he's like half human, half a wizard or something like that? Because he has power over all these stuff, you know what I'm saying? The chamber beyond Frodo's feet, and there was Tom's head, hat, feather, and all, framed against the light of the sun, rising red behind him. The light fell upon the floor and upon the faces of the three hobbits lying beside Frodo. They did not stir, but the sticky blue had left them. They looked now as if they were only deeply asleep. Tom stooped, removed his hat, and came into the dark chamber singing, obviously. Tom Bombadil now is rescued them from the Barrow-wights, and he's singing in the Barrow-wights, obviously. "Get out, you old wight. Vanish in the sun." So he has power over the white, obviously. Jared Tolkien is showing here how Tom Bombadil has power over the Barrow-wight, obviously. He says, "Get out, you old wight. Vanish in the sunlight. Shrivel like the cold mist, like the winds go wailing. Out into the Barrowlands, far beyond the mountains. Come here never again. Leave your barrow empty, lost and forgotten, be darker than the darkness, where gates stand forever shut, till the world is mended." At these words there was a cry, and part of the inner end of the chamber fell with a crash. Then there was a long trilling shriek. Yeah, so Tom Bombadil has power over some magic, over the magic and spell of the Barrow-wights. Just like he has power over the ring, obviously, right? Hence why my theory is Tom Bombadil is like half human, half wizard or something like that. I don't think Tom Bombadil is fully human, man. I don't think he's fully human. I may be wrong, but I don't think Tom Bombadil is fully human. At these words, there was a cry, and a part of the inner end of the chamber fell in with a crash. Then there was a long, trailing shriek, fading away into an unguessable distance. And after that silence, "Come, friend Frodo," said Tom. "Let us get out onto clean grass. You must help me bear them." Together they carried out Merry, Pippin, and Sam. As Frodo left the berry for the last time, he thought he saw a severed hand wriggling still, like a wounded spider. So I was right. Tom Bombadil rescued them from the Barrow-wights. See, I do remember a lot of stuff. In a heap of fallen earth, Tom went back in again, and there was a sound of much thumping and stamping. When he came out, he was bearing in his arms a great load of treasure, things of gold, silver, copper, and bronze, many beads and chains and jeweled ornaments. He climbed the green barrel and laid them on top in the sunlight and sunshine. There he stood with his hat in his hand and the wind in his hair, and looked down upon the three hobbits that had been laid on their backs upon the grass at the west side of the mound. Raising his hand, he said in a clear and commanding voice, "Wake now, my merry lads, wake and hear me calling. Warm now be heart and limb, the cold stone is." So Merry and them are kind of like half asleep, whatever it is, right? Merry, Frodo, and Sam are still under the spell. You'll kind of have see Frodo and them have to help carry them out of the Bear Whites, obviously. And Tom Bombadil, he commanded the Bear White, get out, you old white. And you know what I'm saying, he said a word, and he broke what he broke the spell, I believe, or something like that. And that's why I don't believe he's fully human, obviously. The cold stone has fallen, dark doors standing wide. Dead hand is broken, night under night is flown, and the gate is open. To Frodo's great joy, the hobbits stirred, stretched their arms, rubbed their eyes, and they suddenly sprang up. So now the hobbits are more themselves, right? They looked about and amazing, first at Frodo, and then at Tom standing large, as life on a barrow top drove them, and then at themselves, in their thin white rags, crowned and belted with pale gold, and jingling with trinkets. What in the name of wonder, began Merry, feeling the golden circlet that had slipped over one eye. Then he stopped, and as a shadow came over his face, as he closed his eyes, of course I remember, he said, the men of Carndun came on us that night, and we were worsted. Ah, the spirit in my heart, he clutched at his breast. No, no, he said, opening his eyes. What am I saying? I have been dreaming. Where did you get to, Frodo? I thought that I was lost, said Frodo. I don't want to speak of it. Let us think of what we are to do now. Let us go on. Dress up like this, sir, said Sam. Where are my clothes? He flung his circlet belt and rings on the grass, and looked around helplessly, as if he expected to find his cloak, jacket, and breeches and other hobbit garments lying somewhere to hand. You won't find your clothes again, said Tom, bounding down from the mound and laughing as he danced around them in the sunlight. One would have thought that nothing dangerous or dreadful had happened. Indeed, the horror faded out of their hearts as they looked at him and saw the merry glint in his eyes. What do you mean? Asked Pippin, looking at him, half puzzled and half amused. Why not? But Tom shook his head, saying, you found yourselves again out of the deep water. Clothes are a little lost, obviously. The reason why Tom says you found yourselves, because the hobbits were under some spell, obviously, right? So this is what we read so far, obviously. So Frodo and them, they travel through the Barrow Downs, obviously. Frodo loses contact with his friends, Merry, Pip, and Sam. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, you have the fog, the mist, the darkness, all that stuff. He loses contact with them, obviously. He's lost, obviously. He calls out, where are you guys? I'm saying he can't find them, obviously. And then Frodo hears voices calling back to him. He sees a figure, and he finds later on that he's trapped in the Barrow Whites. He's imprisoned in the Barrow Whites, which is an enchanted place, obviously. And that the other hobbits are lying on their backs or under some spell. He hears another enchantment, obviously, which he believes could affect him and turn him into stone. And then he remembers what? He has memory of being in Tom Bombadil's house. He sings Tom Bombadil's songs to help him get out of that situation, obviously. And then he actually hears a song, and it's Tom Bombadil himself. Tom Bombadil himself rescues Frodo and them from the Barrow Whites, obviously. And Tom Bombadil has power over the Barrow Whites. He says, get out, you old wit, obviously. He has power, obviously. He has power over the Barrow Whites. Hence why Tom Bombadil was able to rescue them from the Barrow Whites, because Tom Bombadil was not affected from the enchantment or spells of the Barrow Whites, obviously. Whereas Frodo and the hobbits were affected from the spells and enchantments of the Barrow Whites. So Tom Bombadil has power over the forest. He also has power over the ring, and he also has power over the Barrow Whites. Hence why I don't believe Tom Bombadil is human. I believe Tom Bombadil is like half wizard or something like that. Because humans don't have that kind of power. Tom Bombadil has a connection to the forest, obviously. He also has what? He has power over the ring. He's not affected by the ring. All the people who've put the ring on are all affected by the ring. Obviously, they all when they see the ring, they all want the ring so bad. It's like they're precious, obviously. Whereas Tom Bombadil, he just laughs, puts the ring on, he doesn't disappear, and he gives it back to Frodo. He's not affected by the possession magic of the ring, obviously. And he's also not affected by the Barrow Whites, and he has power over the Barrow Whites. Hence why I don't believe Tom Bombadil is fully human. To all you Lord of the Rings fans, you gotta help me out here. Is Tom Bombadil human, or is he like half human, half wizard? I think he's half human, half wizard, something like that. I don't think he's fully human. I may be wrong. And that ends my read along. And tomorrow I'll be finishing off in a good 2 more parts. I should be finishing off. It's a longer chapter. In a good 2 more parts, I'll be finishing off. 2 more days, I'll be finishing off chapter 8. And I'll be moving on to chapter 9, which I believe when Frodo and them go to Prancing Pony or Bree. That chapter's not bad. That's when they meet Aragorn and the manager at the inn and all that stuff. That chapter's not bad. But I told you, the first half of Fellowship of the Ring is a drag. It's just them walking and talking and meeting people. Hence why Fellowship of the Ring is, in my opinion, is the worst of the series, obviously. Right? So enough about Lord of the Rings. I am going to keep talking about Sky Source. Sky Source Entertainment, I'm going to keep saying this. I'll end it off, before I end this video off. Sky Source Entertainment will be the best brand in the entertainment business, better than Disney Film Studios, Warner Bros., Universal, Paramount, all those companies. Hence why all these Hollywood actors are desperately going to send in all the reels. You're looking at something fucking crazy. It's funny because all the actors already know all the actors chosen for my movies, and even then they're going to send in the reels. Why? Because they also badly want to work for my wife. They want to be saved. They also want that freedom so bad. Ivan's company is the only company that's independent from the Hollywood system that can compete with Hollywood. It can pay me my millions, and it also grant me freedom. And these Hollywood celebrities all want their freedom so bad, obviously. And it's even big celebrities like Ariana Grande, even celebrities like her are gonna beg her ass off me when I do something. And Ariana Grande is fucking rich too. She's fucking rich. She's a successful singer, obviously. But even Ariana Grande is going to beg me to be signed because she'd rather work for me than work in fucking Hollywood. Ivan, you know what I'm saying? Ivan, I just want to do my music on the side in Hollywood and just act in your movies because I don't want to work in Hollywood. I can't stand the Hollywood system because in Hollywood I'm a fucking dirty slave. Yeah. Even what? Even singers like Ariana Grande, even she's going to beg me to be signed up, obviously. I heard Ariana Grande and Vijay don't like each other. I think that's a rumor. I think they're not bad friends. They're probably not the best of friends, but they probably get along, obviously. But if they don't get along, they're gonna have to learn to get along because Ariana Grande is Lithia's best friend in the movie. Hence, Vijay and Ariana Grande are gonna have to get along, obviously. That's how it works. Don't hate me, Vijay. You know what I'm saying? Ivan, why'd you hire her? I'm like, look, man, she's perfect for the role. If you don't like her, you're gonna have to get along with her. I'm just joking. As I highly doubt they'd hate each other. I personally believe that it's a rumor. It's a false rumor. I think Ariana Grande and Vijay, they're probably not the best of friends, but I'm pretty sure if they met each other, they'd probably say hi. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. But anyways, or maybe, who knows, maybe they don't like each other. I don't know, man. If they don't, they're going to have to learn to get along. Because Lithia and Bella are best friends in this story, obviously. It's actually funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, man, Scarces will be a top-notch company. Even a big singer like Ariana Grande, even she's gonna beg her asses off for me to be signed. Man, she'd rather work for me than work. I'd rather be successful and be in your movie than be successful in Hollywood. Because in Hollywood, I'm a fucking dirty slave. Yeah, and I don't want to be left behind. I don't want to be a side attention. This Scarces is that top-notch of a company, obviously. And all the actors, all you Hollywood actors, you already know all the actors chosen for my 5 movies. And even then, what? Even then, you're still gonna send your reels. Why? Because you so badly want to be in my movie, obviously. So yeah, I already know who's chosen, but I'm still gonna send my reel because there might be some hope, and I want to be in Ivan Vijay's movie so bad. I want to be saved. I don't want to be left behind. I want to get out of this wicked Hollywood system. Yeah, man, they all want to so badly get out of that Hollywood system. They all want their freedom so bad. They want to know what it's like to be rich and free, which there's no such thing as being rich and free in Hollywood, obviously. Hence why these Hollywood actors are all gonna desperately try and send their reels, obviously. At the end off here, I'm going to keep saying this at the end of every video. Remember Tony Stark, how he owned that top high-end condo? We're looking at a top high-end house in the movie, Iron Man movie. Me and my wife are going to own a top high-end roof.com like that. Remember that Instagram picture that VJ took with her clothing designer, whatever it is, Madison, whatever it is, that Madison chick? Remember when she wore that green-black shirt, she was on top of a roof, she did that shoot on top of the roof? I guarantee that was a symbolism of VJ saying, hey, look, in the future, I'm going to own a top high-end roof.com with my husband. She was in New York. She was on top of a roof. She did a shoot on top of the roof. VJ was saying, hey, yeah, in the future, in 2023, whatever it is, in a couple of years from now, a few years from now, I'm going to own my own, me and my husband are going to own a rooftop condo on top of a roof in Vancouver. She was bragging, obviously. Just like VJ posted that picture of that guy in the red robe and the red carpet, a symbolism of me and Zayn, she also did that Instagram picture because she knew in the future me and her are going to own that $100 million top-notch. I'm not just gonna own a high-end $100 million unheard of rooftop condo. I'm owning a $100 million condo on top of the roof, which is very, very rare and unheard of. As rooftop condos on top of the roof are very, very rare, man. Very, very rare. Hence why what? My wife is so proud of me because me and her are gonna be living what? The celeb dream life, obviously. In our personal life as well as our business life. To end it off, I can easily tell VJ, look, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to start Skysis, me and you can just live a life, build a 100 room with our condo, do our personal stuff, buy a jet, buy a yacht. We don't even have to start Skysis. If he doesn't want to start Skysis, I'm cool with that. Me and you can just live a life and do our personal stuff. I'm going to tell VJ that. But obviously, me and her are going to start Skysource as a dream of VJ to be in what? In a big budget movie, to star in a big budget movie with her husband. It's also a dream of mine to turn Zayn to the big screen. Hence why I'm obviously going to start Skysource, obviously. This is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this read along of Lord of the Rings, Chapter 8. Stay tuned for my video tomorrow, my continuation of my Chapter 8 read along of Lord of the Rings, as well as me babbling on with my interesting topic of my personal life in Sky Source. This is Ivan Omer. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm signing out. You only have, 3.5 weeks left. Peace.